Hey everyone, welcome to RPAS with Kris. Do you hate making site surveys as much as I do? Do you find that you waste hours and hours searching for all the right elements to copy and paste into a master document? Or do you think site survey and go, you know what, I'm just not going to bother flying my drone today? Well, I have a solution, and it's called RPAS Wilco. Let's get flying. In RPAS Wilco, you'll find many helpful analytic-style tools to help you with your drone operations, such as site survey usage, milestones, a monthly tracker to see how many site surveys you file each month, your controlled airspace ratio, top pilot site survey usage, and then a list of upcoming flights. When you sign up for RPAS Wilco, it's free, or you can pay a monthly subscription if you'd like to have more than one pilot on the account and access some other features. Now, the monthly subscription might be good if you're a business and you have maybe multiple drone pilots. That way, some of the analytics might actually be a little bit more useful for you, because then you can track better and see who's flying the most and how many times each pilot is going out and what they're flying and maybe how long they're flying for as well. But if you're just an individual like me, then you don't need to worry about paying a monthly subscription. So the two main aspects that I really like the most about RPAS Wilco, number one, is just how quick and easy it is to make a site survey. And number two, it's the pre-generated NAV Canada flight authorization information that makes applying for authorization to fly in controlled airspace very, very easy. Like you just copy and paste. The nice thing that I really like about the pre-generated information, especially for your flight authorization, is the two sections at the bottom that deal with a lost link or emergency procedures. Now, the pre-generated information that it gives here is really, I like it. It's good. I'm kind of terrible when it comes to writing things, and I found that every time I would write my description of my lost link procedure or my emergency procedure, it always felt like it was missing something or rambled on for too long. The nice thing with the one that RPAS Wilco provides is it's very just straight to the point, it's very clear, and you can kind of, if it's not really exactly what you're looking for, then you can just take it, and it's a good starting point for you to go off of and tweak it and edit it to what maybe fits your exact operation. I know I've done that. There's a section at the end when it comes to the emergency procedures where there was a section about having a radio that you can use to listen in. I never had my aeronautical radio certificate, but now that I have it, I'm actually going to start to leave that section in at the end, because now it's actually going to start to pertain to me. And I just like that ability that you can take this information, and it's a good stepping point, especially if you're new to flying in controlled airspace. It's all the information you need, quick and easy, copy and paste, a little minor tweak if your operation is different, and you're set and you're good to go. Now for me, I do a lot of real estate work, and one of the main things that I get from our clients is they ask me to go and fly in multiple locations. And I used to have to tell them that I couldn't do that. I can't do it. I need to go back and make a site survey. It's just one of the legal loopholes that you need to follow when you're a drone pilot. And they'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I get it. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, whatever. They don't know. But if you want to try and keep things, running properly, that's what you'd have to do. You'd have to know about these things in advance. But if you're flying not in controlled airspace, Class G airspace, and a client says, I want you to go fly at the waterfront, all you have to do is pull out the RPAS Wilco app, available on your Android or iOS phone, and then you can just make site surveys on the go like that. It's perfect. Another good thing about RPAS Wilco is when you're out flying on location, and say you're flying a drone that's a custom build, or you're flying like a model airplane or something, if you want, you can create a flight log in the app, and it will track when you start your flight and when you end your flight, and it syncs it with the site survey that you have because it matches it with the timestamp of the site survey you made. So that way it keeps your flight logs and your site surveys all together. Now for me though, I'm flying a DJI system, and in the app, DJI actually keeps track of all of your flights and actually keeps a pretty good record. It starts the time and it tracks how long your flight is and where you all fly. So I use those for my log keeping personally, just because it's quicker and convenient. It's just one less thing I have to worry about when conducting my RPAS operations. Now, all that being said, I have a few minor things with RPAS Wilco. Number one, the website or the web browser is a little bit glitchy on my end. There's been a couple times where I go and I try to select my pilot and my drone, which is me and just my one drone that I have registered. And sometimes the drop-down menus don't really work the way I want, or it freezes up a lot. It's a little annoying. It's not the end of the world. It just normally requires me to close the web browser and relaunch it. The other thing is I've also had a few instances where when I'm creating my site survey and I pick my location, the coordinates actually don't really line up with anywhere. I've had a few times where I've applied to fly in controlled airspace and I get a response back from them saying that the address that I provided and the coordinates I provided don't really match up too well. And so, it's not the end of the world. It's easily avoidable just by doing a quick fax check, and you can just, pull up the address of where you're going to be flying or the landmark, and you can just pull it up into any, coordinate generator, and it can tell you what the coordinates are, and then you can just kind of cross-reference them with RPAS Wilco to make sure they're all the same. Because no one likes to get a message from Nav Canada saying, hey, the coordinates you gave us are all the way in New Mexico. And now the last little caveat that I have with RPAS Wilco is in the Nav Canada flight authorization pre-generated info. At the very bottom, when you get to the sections about the lost link and the emergency procedures, when you copy and paste them, it doesn't really copy and paste into a full paragraph. It's all jumbled up, and I find I have to actually go back and go through and I tidy it up just so whoever's reading my application has a bit of an easier time and can make more sense of it. Now that being said, these are just minor things. They're not like the end of the world. They're not a real deal breaker, especially when you think of all the time that RPAS Wilco actually saves you in having to create site surveys. And the nice thing is too, is this is still relatively new, at least as much as I can see. It's relatively new in development, and the people who are working on it, I'm sure, are working hard to make sure all those little kinks get ironed out. And I really, really, really think that this is a great tool for anyone conducting any kind of RPAS operation. I hope you found this video informative. And if you like what you see, maybe consider subscribing to the channel for more RPAS related content. And as always, this is RPAS with Kris, and fly safe.